feel like this Brewers defense has not been as crisp as it was last year. That's what this Brewers team really needs. We'll get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
That Brewers defense was just so good last year. I mean, you went around and you had two Gold Glovers on this team, Sal Frelick and Bryce Terang, and it was one of the best defensive teams in the league last year, and they had to be that way to make up some of the other flaws they have on this team. And this is the way the Brewers, I've said this before about the Brewers, they have to be so good in a couple of different areas to make up for some other areas that they're weak in, namely the inconsistent hitting. Chuck Freeman here, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. And the Brewers came up short in San Francisco 4-2, and now got a win on Thursday to get at least a split in San Francisco. And I'd be cool with a split in San Francisco. We'll get to that coming up here a little bit later on. But this defense, let's start with the middle of the defense right now, right up the middle. I thought this, moving Ortiz to shortstop and Terang to second base, I was like, this is going to be one of the best up the middle defenses in Major League Baseball. And so far through 25 games, it just has not been. It has not been what I thought it was going to be. Ortiz over at third was terrific last year. Shortstop, error tonight. He's got 3 errors. I feel like there's some balls. There was a little pop-up in short left field last week in Arizona he didn't get to. Last week ago weekend, did not get to. And maybe I'm nitpicking, maybe because I just see these guys play every day, and they were just so good defensively last year. You always expected them to make the plays, especially our guy Terang at second. He won a Gold Glove last year, and he's got 2 errors so far this year. And I put out a Twitter, I said, to win a Gold Glove, you almost have to be so pristine at your position. And I feel like with Milwaukee, you almost have to pay the Milwaukee tax. You have to be extra good. All right. And there's been some times where Terang hasn't been like that. He's got the 2 errors, and he had the one tonight, and he had one taken off the board the other day. And there's been some times where he hasn't been fielding the ball as cleanly as he had last year. I thought every play, making the great plays and then making the ordinary plays. And I feel like he's just not as smooth this year. And who knows? Maybe he's going through a little thing, maybe the yips or whatever. I don't know. To me, I'm not saying he's bad defensively. Gosh, no. He's far from that. But he's just not at the tippy top of his game like he was last year. I mean, last year when we saw him play second base, he was so good. And still, I think, is the best defensive second baseman in Brewers history. It's just that this year, there's been a little bit more, there have been a few more flaws. But I'm trust me, I'd still take him over anybody else. And the trade-off there for him offensively, and like last year, we'd say, God, Terang, he can't hit, but defensively, he's so good. Well, he's hitting 350 this year, but he's a tick or 2 down defensively. But I'd still take the trade-off. If you were to tell me Terang is hitting 350, didn't like the air tonight, but still, overall, I wouldn't want anybody else playing second base than Bryce Terang. All I'm saying is he's not been as pure at second base defensively as we saw last year. And then there's Ortiz. I thought, Ortiz has got 3 errors so far, and he's got a few other muffs out there that were rule-based hits. Not yet right now at shortstop. And, you couple that with what he's doing offensively, it's not been a very good 25 games for Ortiz. We'll get to more of him offensively coming up here in a little bit. Other positions, Hoskins has got 3 errors. Man, anytime a ball is thrown over his direction, or he's got to make a play on it, I get a little skittish. Like, is he going to make the play? The one go off his glove the other night? I want to say the first game in San Francisco. So he's got 3 errors so far. feel like he's fielding the ball. It's just like some of these relay throws or throws over to him, he's not picking. And we knew coming over here, he wasn't exactly a 5-star first baseman defensively. But he's got 3 errors so far. And then over at third, the Dunn Capra team, and we have not seen Dunn in a while. 8 days. I looked. 8 days we haven't seen Dunn. The Dunn Capra deal has got 3 errors so far. I don't believe Durbin's got an error yet. But, you look around, their infield has not been rock solid. Now, outfield-wise, I think Churrio's been fine out there. He's made some nice plays. Mitchell has been all right. Yelich, I think the outfield has been fine. It's the infield defense. And behind the plate, you can't argue with Contreras. Threw another run out tonight. I believe he's leading the league with throwing guys out on the base paths with 8 so far. He's leading Major League Baseball with 8. He's either leading or he's second or third, but he's really high up there. But the Brewers overall 12th in Major League Baseball against defensively. Defensively. They are ranked 12th overall defensively. This team has got to be a top 5 defensive team. They do. They have to be a top 5 defensive team because they're not real great offensively. They don't hit with a lot of power. Their offense runs hot and cold. Cold tonight until late. So they got to be better than that. They got to clean up the defense. Defense is not where it should be at this point. But we're only 25 games in. 13-12 after the loss to San Francisco. Got some thoughts about this game. I just didn't feel like they supported Peralta enough as well. Offensively. Offensively left too much out there. We'll get to all that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. I loved the Amazon Fire Stick. I love it. Did you know that your Fire TV is also an Xbox? You can turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire Stick TV, with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. You don't even need the console. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign in with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. My kid does this. And away you go. Look at how far technology is coming. The Amazon Stick, I love it. I really do, man. Take it on the road with you wherever. And don't miss anything you got programmed into there. Your Netflix or whatever. I have my MLB package on there, NBA as well. But head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started and get that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. You got to have that controller. My kid has got 2 of those. My other kid has 1 of those as well. He's 27. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K, the 2nd generation, the Fire Stick 4K Max, 1st and 2nd generation, the Fire TV Cube 3rd generation. It's on all those. Affordable and portable gaming, all on the Amazon Fire TV Locked On. When you tag on Fire TV Locked On, that'll help you get started. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Yeah, Freddy, offensively, they left some runs out there. Now in the 9th inning, Brewers are down 4-0. And I said this on my short post-game instant reaction video. I thought the Brewers were going to turn the tables like they did in Arizona. Remember that Saturday night in Arizona where they're down 4-0? Was it Saturday night or was it Sunday? It was one of those games. They were down 4-0. It was either the Saturday or Sunday game in Arizona. I should know that off the top of my head. They were down 4-0, and Arizona came roaring back in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here, the Brewers are down 4-0, hitting into the top of the 9th inning. Put some ducks on the pond, loaded the bases. Terang with an oppo field double, 4-2. He's the tying run on second. I'm saying, oh boy, here we go. Tied run on second base. Runner at third, tied run at second. Chourio and Jackson. Chourio at the plate, along with Yelich. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that minus 10,000 money line, that live line that I checked out on FanDuel. Oh, yeah, that got down to minus 500 as the Brewers were rolling. And then Chourio strikes out. And then Yelich. Tell me if you didn't think that was predictable, that he played Pepper with the second baseman. Bounced to the second baseman to end the game. Man, I was hoping Yelich could drive one into the gap there. Or a base hit at least to tie the game. Chourio, man, I was feeling good about Chourio in that moment right there too. Chourio and Yelich, and they couldn't come through with one out. Chourio and Yelich end the game, and the Brewers lose 4-2. Gosh, disheartening. Now, Peralta pitched shutout baseball through 5, and I thought he was pretty good. Then the 6th inning came, and he kind of spun out of control a little bit. They got him out of there after loading the bases with nobody out. He had Chapman 0-2 and ended up walking him to load the bases. He was at 96 pitches at that point. Murph went out, got him, brought in Mears, and 4 more runs came across. And I'm not blaming. And there was an error. There was a ball I thought Ortiz should have had. Backed it in the Terang. Muffed that ball. But still. And the Giants put up 4 runs. That inning, yeah, defensively, I'm not going to put it as much as I was criticizing the defense. This one too, score some runs. You scored the runs in the 9th inning, but this was one of those nights, as we've seen too often with these guys. They score double-digit runs in 2 of the previous 3 games, and then they come back and they can't get any clutch hits. Only extra base hit on the night was Terang's double the 9th. Otherwise, it was all base hit singles. It was all singles. But I thought Freddy was fine. They give Freddy. I'm on the starting pitcher side. I'm one of these guys who feels the Brewers starting pitching has been just fantastic. And we don't need Colin Ray on the staff. Don't need anybody. The pitching staff has held its own. It's the offense that worries me the most. We shouldn't be, messaging me. I get DMs on the pitching staff. No, DMs on the pitching staff. No, it should be on the offense and like that left side of the offense of the infield. Ortiz, third base, Durbin. We hope that's going to be a correction there, but that's been the issue right now. Not the starting pitching. And Peralta, I thought, kept them in the ball game, gave them a chance to win. Score some runs for him early on. Score some runs. And they threatened a couple of false rallies. I like to call them false Brewers rallies. They tease us, put a couple guys out with nobody out. And then before you know it, 3 pitches later, pitchers heading back to the dugout, and it's game, set, and match. But yeah, Freddy, that one's not on Freddy. Not at all on Freddy. Which brings me to a couple of other guys. I noticed that people are getting off of Hoskins because he's turning it around a little bit. He's up to batting 273. Frelick has been real good too, batting 318. Terang 350. Ortiz down to 173. The defense is not there at shortstop. I touched on this a little bit on last night's podcast. I don't know what to do. Do you keep riding? Yeah, you have to keep riding him out. It's frustrating because I feel no confidence when Ortiz is up at the plate. When it's his turn, especially with guys on base, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And I didn't feel that way last year about him, even though he was going through the neck injury and all that. And I feel like he was still producing. He produced more earlier in the year in May and June, especially May, I should say, than he did after that neck started bothering him. But he's batting 173. And the defense hasn't been great. I'm going to give him a little longer leash here. because we don't have any other options at shortstop. And Monasterio's not the answer. We love our Andrew Monasterio, but in small doses. But Ortiz got no choice. Got no choice. And the Brewers will know more, I think, at the end of this season what they have with Ortiz. I think we all will. I think at the end of the season, and we're only 25 games into it, we'll find out what we have with Ortiz. If he's a major league everyday player or not. I think we'll know more. Well, a better feel. I do feel that ultimately Terang is going to play shortstop. Not this year. Not unless there was an injury. I think we're going to have to ride out Ortiz. But I think ultimately, I feel like they want to move Terang to shortstop, the Brewers. That's my gut feeling there. I get tweets on Garrett Mitchell as well. He's batting .203, 64 at-bats. He's got 3 RBIs and no home runs. That is terrible production. Terrible. No home runs. He had a base hit on Wednesday night. No home runs. Garrett Mitchell. Man, I was making bold predictions before the season, and I said, Mitchell, and I didn't even think it was a bold prediction. I said, Mitchell's going to hit us 20 to 25 home runs this year. We're approaching May next week, and he ain't got us but one. And he's got us none. Garrett Mitchell hit one off the fence last homestand. His opportunity is right here. Blake Perkins, great defensively as well. He's on the mend. He's begun baseball activities. But Mitchell's got a chance to not platoon with anybody and be the everyday guy out there. But, man, 203 is not going to do it, especially with the no home runs. Because you already have Frelick at right field who doesn't hit for power. Yeah, this team just hurts for power. So Garrett Mitchell, I'm going to give him a little bit longer leash as well on this. So Ortiz and Mitchell. Oliver Dunn, well, this is a layup, but I'm all done with Oliver Dunn, and I feel like the Brewers are all done as well. He hasn't played since April 16th. Hasn't played since April 16th. And that's over a week away. That's over a week. He was like playing every day. Every day they're running him out there. And just like last year, beginning of the season. But he's not playing. He is not playing at all. And Murphy holding true to his word that his everyday third baseman is Durbin. And Dunn is nowhere to be found. They had to send him down. So he's not been playing. Obviously, he's not playing because he's not on the roster, or he's not on the. He's not with the team. But I don't think Oliver Dunn is ever coming back up on the team. I don't think he's ever coming back up. Hasn't played since April 16th, and I don't think he's coming back at all. I'd be surprised. And Capra, I don't know why they're holding on Capra. I don't care if he's got any options or not. Capra should not be on this team. But Oliver Dunn down in Nashville, and I don't know when we're going to see him if ever. But he had his chance at third base, and again, he hasn't been in the lineup since April 16th when they sent him down. And I don't see him getting called back up anytime soon. And Capra played shortstop the other night when Ortiz took a rest, and he took it over to get that average down to 083. We come back. We'll take a look at the Cubs. I'm worried about the Cubs. I hate to say that I am. We'll look at Thursday's outing, the pitching matchups. Myers is going to make his first start for the Brewers First start of the year. I'm excited about that. We'll get to that coming up next, and who the Brewers will be facing. Pretty good curveball pitcher. We'll get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. You know, Game Time is where I get my tickets. There's nothing like catching an MLB game live and in person. It's even more cool when you're able to go to the Game Time app and you look on the app and you're seeing a ticket price that you saw 2 days ago drop dramatically. And you punch it in and you score those tickets. Last minute deals, all in pricing, lowest price guaranteed. Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. The price always drops once those game times get closer, obviously, because people want to get rid of their tickets. So let's say at the last second, you want to head down to AmFam Field, go to Game Time. Look at the seat view. Before you buy, you could preview your exact seat before purchasing, so you get no surprises when you get to the stadium. It's a terrific panoramic view. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account first of all, and then you get $20. You buy $70 worth of Brewers tickets, or if you want to go to the Bucks playoff game on Friday night, you'll get $20 off. Download the Game Time app first. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. That is Game Time. Locked On Brewers. By the way, our podcast, you get them on Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download your Brewers podcast, or wherever you download. I know some of you guys are downloading all sorts of podcasts out there. We're right on there. If you're watching us on YouTube, the podcast platforms are on every platform out there. Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download your podcast. We're on all those. And please hit the subscribe button and hit the alert button so you'll be alerted every time we drop an episode on Locked On Brewers. And of course, if you're on the audio platforms, go to YouTube. Go to our growing YouTube page, search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That alerts you every time we drop an episode right here on Locked On Brewers. And of course, I always on Twitter alert you when these episodes are coming out. Chuck Freeman, hit me up on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. And as always, you want to hit me up on the DMs? I'll be getting back to you. There's no doubt about that. As many people have taken advantage, and you guys will DM me during a game, after the game, or whatever. I will always answer you. All right, here we go. I am worried about the Cubs. They're 16-10. Yeah, I know the Brewers, they're 2.5 out. The reason why I'm a little concerned about this is because there's no wild card to be had in the National League Central this year. The National League West, they got 3 teams that it's just loaded. You have the Giants, the Padres, and the Dodgers. All right, who are just tearing it up in the National League West. I'm worried, and the Cubs won again. I'm worried that the Cubs the Brewers don't want to fall behind 5-6 games against those guys. And I know before we, throw shade towards the Chicago Cubs here, I get it, but still, you don't want to fall 5-6 games behind these guys. You don't want to be chasing them. I feel like the Brewers have been chasing the Cubs for the better part of the season so far, except when the Cubs got off to that 1-3 start. But 13-12, Brewers still, I don't think, have played their best baseball just yet. They got off to the 0-4 start. They had won 10 of 15 lately. Took 2 of 3 last homestand. They got to come back and beat the Giants on Thursday. Finish off this road trip going 2-2. But will somebody please cool off the Cubs? Cubs are now beating the Dodgers. They've won, I think, 4 of the last 5 against LA. They're 16-10. Thursday, the starters, Tobias Myers making his first start of the season. It is great to see Tobias toe the rubber on Thursday with a 2:45 start Central Standard Time. Landon Roop goes for the Giants. He's a late bloomer for them. Didn't get called up. Didn't make his major league debut till he's 25. He's 2-1, a 4.09 earned run average. Had his best start of the season his last time out, went 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. It was also his longest start of the year. But a guy who's just got an amazing curveball, real good curveball. I don't know if this is something that he's developed recently because it took him a while to get up here to the major league level. But, man, his curveball is really, really good. Right-handed pitcher as well. Brewers will face him. He's a converted bullpen guy, this Landon Roop. Guy who was in the bullpen. They made him into a starter this year, and he's actually been pretty good. But good curveball. 27, 28 years old. Let's hope the Brewers put some good at-bats against him and get out of there with a split going into St. Louis tomorrow. And by the way, tomorrow, after the game, we'll be doing our show. And part of it we'll be talking with the St. Louis. We'll be talking with JD Heffern from Locked On Cardinals. Do a little Cardinals preview, a little crossover as well tomorrow on the show. So we'll have him on and talk Brewers Cardinals. They're facing each other for the first time. So JD will join us from Locked On Cardinals tomorrow here on Locked On Brewers as well. So we'll recap the game, talk about the game and all that, and JD as well. All right, that's going to do it. My name is Chuck Freeman. Thanks for joining us. Hey, man, enjoy your Thursday. Brewers lost. They're 1-2 on this road trip. Let's get them Thursday. See you on Thursday as well. Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day.